Thank you for choosing Cal ISO Corporation for your training needs. This short video clip is presented to introduce you to some basic information on the requirements of the International Automotive Task Force, IATF, Automotive Quality Management System Standard 16949, 2016 revision. IATF 16949 defines the quality management system requirements for the design and development, production, and when relevant, assembly, installation, and services of automotive-related products, including products with embedded software. This automotive QMS standard is applicable to sites of the organization where manufacturing of customer-specified production parts, service parts, and/or accessory parts occur. This standard should be applied throughout the automotive supply chain. This standard is based on the quality management principles described in ISO 9001, which are customer focus, leadership, engagement of people, process approach, improvement, evidence-based decision-making, and relationship management. The adoption of a quality management system is a strategic decision for an organization that can help to improve its overall performance and provide a sound basis for sustainable development initiatives. The potential benefits to an organization of implementing a quality management system based on this standard are listed here. This standard employs the process approach, which incorporates the plan, do, check, act, or PDCA cycle and risk-based thinking. The process approach enables an organization to plan its processes and their interactions. This diagram represents the structure of the standard and how each clause relates to the PDCA cycle. Clause 1 defines the scope of this standard as one that includes ISO 9001, 2015 revision, quality management system requirements, and specifies additional automotive industry requirements, definitions, and notes. This standard is applicable to sites of the organization where manufacturing of customer-specified production parts, service parts, and/or accessory parts occur and should be applied throughout the automotive supply chain. Clause 2 lists ISO 9001, the 2015 revision, Annex A Control Plan, and Annex B Bibliography as documents that are both referenced in this standard and are indispensable for its application. Clause 3 identifies terms and definitions applicable to this standard. In addition to the terms and definitions identified in ISO 9000 2015 revision, IATF 16949 2016 revision specifically identifies all terms listed on the next two slides as being critical. Terms such as accessory part, advanced product quality planning, aftermarket part, control plan, design for assembly, authorization, and many others are listed here. Terms such as manufacturing, manufacturing feasibility, outsourced process, periodic overhaul, predictive maintenance, and many others are listed here. Clause 4 outlines the requirements for creating an awareness of the context of the organization. In addition to the requirements listed in ISO 9001, this standard states that supporting functions, whether on-site or remote, such as design centers, corporate headquarters, and distribution centers, shall be included in the scope of the quality management system. In addition, customer-specific requirements shall be evaluated and included in the scope of the organization's quality management system. In addition to the requirements listed on the previous slide, IATF 16949 requires that the organization shall ensure conformance of all products and processes, including service parts and those that are outsourced, to all applicable customer, statutory, and regulatory requirements. The organization shall have documented processes for the management of product safety-related products and manufacturing processes. Clause 5 outlines the requirements for leadership and commitment, which include corporate responsibility, process effectiveness and efficiency, process owners, and customer focus. Additionally, the requirements for establishing and communicating the quality policy are outlined here. In addition to the requirements listed on the previous slide, IATF 16949 requires that top management shall assign personnel with the responsibility and authority to ensure that customer requirements are met. Additionally, top management shall ensure that personnel responsible for conformity to product requirements have the authority to stop shipment and stop production to correct quality problems. Clause 6 discusses the requirements that an organization must address both risks and opportunities when planning for the quality management system. This includes risk analysis, preventive action, and contingency plans. Clause 6 continues to state that top management shall ensure that quality objectives to meet customer requirements are defined, established, and maintained for relevant functions, processes, and levels throughout the organization. Clause 7 states that the organization shall determine and provide the resources needed for the establishment, implementation, maintenance, and continual improvement of the quality management system. This includes the need to provide the people, the infrastructure, and the environment for the operations of its processes. The organization shall use a multidisciplinary approach, including risk identification and risk mitigation methods for developing and improving plant, facility, and equipment plans. The organization shall maintain process effectiveness, including periodic reevaluation relative to risk to incorporate any changes made during process approval, control plan maintenance, and verification of job setup. Additionally, Clause 7 includes requirements for monitoring and measuring resources. Statistical studies shall be conducted to analyze the variation present in the results of each type of inspection, measurement, and test equipment system identified in the control plan. Additionally, requirements for calibration and verification records are included here, as well as internal and external laboratory requirements. Clause 7 continues on to outline the requirements for general competence, on-the-job training, internal auditor competency, and second-party auditor competency. For awareness, the organization shall maintain documented information that demonstrates that all employees are aware of their impact on product quality and the importance of their activities in achieving, maintaining, and improving quality, including customer requirements and the risks involved for the customer with non-conforming products. And finally, Clause 7 documents the requirements for communication and documented information. The organization's quality management system shall be documented and include a quality manual. The quality manual shall include the scope, the documented processes established for the QMS, the organization's processes and their sequence and interactions, and a document that includes where within the organization's QMS that the customer-specific requirements are addressed. Clause 8 covers the requirements for all of operations. This includes operational planning and control in areas such as customer product requirements and technical specification, logistics requirements, manufacturing feasibility, project planning, and acceptance criteria. Clause 8 also covers the specific requirements for products and services such as customer communication and determining the requirements for the products and services. Compliance shall include but not be limited to the following: all applicable government, safety, and environmental regulations related to acquisitions, storage, handling, recycling, elimination, or disposal of material. Clause 8 goes on to outline the requirements for the review of the requirements for products and services and any changes to those requirements. Additionally, Clause 8 outlines requirements for the design and development of products and services in areas such as planning, inputs, controls, outputs, and changes. Clause 8 continues on to cover the control of externally provided processes, product, and services. The related requirements for these areas include the type and extent of control and the information provided to external providers. Clause 8 also includes the requirements for production and service provisions. Specifically, these include control of the production and service provision, identification and traceability, property belonging to customers or external providers, preservation, post-delivery activities, and control of changes. Clause 8 continues on with the requirements for the release of products and services. The organization shall ensure that the planned arrangements to verify that the product and service requirements have been met encompass the control plan and are documented as specified in the control plan. Additional requirements include layout inspection and functional testing, appearance items, verification and acceptance, and statutory and regulatory conformity. Clause 8 concludes by covering the requirements for the control of non-conforming outputs. The organization shall ensure that outputs that do not conform to their requirements are identified and controlled to prevent their unintended use or delivery, and the organization shall also retain documented information that describes the nonconformity, the actions taken, any concessions obtained, and identifies the authority deciding the action. Clause 9 of the standard focuses on performance evaluation. This clause requires that an organization determines the elements of their system that need to be monitored, measured, analyzed, and evaluated, as well as implementation of an internal audit program. Clause 9 also identifies the requirements for management review. This includes requirements for planning and carrying out a management review, as well as the expected outputs of the management review, such as opportunities for improvement, any need for changes to the quality management system, and any resource needs. Clause 10 focuses on areas of improvement. The organization shall determine and select opportunities for improvement and implement any necessary actions to meet customer requirements and enhance customer satisfaction. We certainly hope that you found this video helpful. You can now proceed with the first slide of the online course.